Everybody, welcome to Rotary Essentials on membership. We have a lot to cover, so in the interest of time, please put your name, position, if any, and club in the chat or in the Zoom, on your Zoom name as way of introductions. The word member comes from the Old English for limb, as in a limb of a tree. We are all limbs of the Rotary tree, and it is our responsibility to find the sun, bear fruit, and connect to the rest of the tree. If you're part of a club with a large membership, we'd love to discuss and learn your secrets. But if you come from a club with membership issues, remember, it takes more than one person to get a club into trouble, and it will take more than one person to pull it out. And that's where we come in. We're here to help. I have left an agenda for you in the chat. Actually, I believe Tom is putting that agenda in the chat now, which will... I'm sorry?
It should be there.
Okay, great. Let me know if you don't see it. Just put it in the chat if you don't see it, and Tom will fix it. It includes all of our names and contact information. And one of the keys here is to make sure that you can get in touch with us if you need anything. My main goal today is not to give you a boring old nuts and bolts seminar, of which I've been to 1,000 in Rotary, or to tell you to go out and do something with your club, but to inspire you to invite one of us to help you go out and do something with your club, to invite us to share our knowledge with you and help to grow your clubs. My name is Zup Velasco, and I'm the new membership the membership chair for the district for the next 3 years. I've been a Rotarian since 2008. My first experience with Rotary was in 2000, and it wasn't a good one. I was the leader of 4 art centers in the harbor area for LA Cultural Affairs at the time. A prominent board member told me that I should join Rotary. But whenever I would ask anyone what Rotary was, all I would hear is, "Oh, you just have to join. You'll see, you'll get it." And I thought, that's exactly what cults say. When you join a cult, no one would tell me what Rotary was. So I was worried. And I was wondering if there were robes involved, maybe a secret handshake, maybe some bloodletting, rituals or something. But then I actually went to a Rotary Club meeting, and it was a very rubbery, overpriced chicken and a 20-minute speech on the byproducts of oil manufacturing and recycling. And after that meeting, I didn't go back to Rotary for a long time. I was so bored. Please be advised, no animals were hurt in the making of this PowerPoint presentation. So I left there thinking, I'm never going to join Rotary. And it was 8 years again before I ever tried it. When I finally did join a club in Fullerton while running a cultural center there, it was for the network. I was overwhelmed, and it took me 5 years to really figure out what Rotary was. But by then, it was my best network and an essential outlet for my service to the community. Since then, I've brought in over 30 people into Rotary, in my club and in others. I started a satellite club for young professionals in 2014, chartered with 18 members. And I helped create the Membership Day concept at our club, which routinely adds 7 new members each year. And I will discuss this in more depth later. Today, I'm a member of the Altadena Club. We have 24 members in the last 18 months, and we have 3 or 4 more coming in just this week. We regularly add new people who find out about us through our service project, which Dennis was just mentioning, the annual summer park series and concert series in the park. But more recently, people have been drawn for another reason. On January 7th, hurricane force winds combined with the fire at an electrical transformer destroyed over 55% of our town. And in this video, you'll find a wall of embers that went through town. And if you just watch here for a second, you'll see the embers moving, and you'll see how many and how quickly they just went through our town. Just like that. "18 of our members lost homes, 8 lost businesses. We lost the town and country club where we had our meetings. We lost the park where we did our concert series. But the same people who lost homes were the first ones out just 2 weeks later organizing donation drives, a rebuild program, and a fundraiser. Since the fire, we've had 13 new members join us because we have become the epicenter of the rebuilding of our town. And on January 5th, we reopened our summer free concert series in the park, in a new park, and the first gathering back to town since the fire. Mark Twain once said the most important dates are the date you were born and the date you find out why. People are joining our club in droves because we are purpose-driven, and a life without purpose is empty. Everyone on our membership team has faced personal struggles with membership and learned from them, which is why we found purpose in addressing this topic of membership. Today, you're going to hear our struggles and our successes, and also some of your own. A recent poll of Rotarians showed that 65% place membership as their #1 concern. Membership is not rocket science. People usually join us for the great community networks or for the great community service. And if you do either and invite people, you're going to gain members. It's not that hard. Our goal is not to teach you a nuts and bolts approach today of membership, which in Rotary can sometimes be confusing and convoluted, at least in my experience. Our goal is simpler. We're here to share our experiences in membership, highlighting the strategies that have proven effective, and to serve as personal guides and mentors. Once you know us, you know who you can contact for help, and we will walk you through the needs one-on-one by appointment. You don't need to go through a seminar to be helped. We'll do it for you and with you. Before you leave today, we will also share with you 3 new simple ideas that we hope will revolutionize membership here in our district. For those of you who are late coming in, I've included the agenda for today in the chat with our contact information, and Tom will put it in the chat again right now, or at least in a few minutes for our latecomers. Also, in the interest of time, please write down your questions that come up and put them in the chat, and we'll hold those questions till the end, and then we will stay as long as we need overtime, if needed, for us to answer your questions. Right now, though, first, I'd like to start with a little poll and hear your ideas. Let me know what you think and why you're here. Tom, could you release the poll, please? Tom?
He left.
Zoot, Tom lost connection. He's back on now.
Okay,
So,
Tom, Gilda, if you go on the, there you go. Okay, it's
there
up.
it is.
Okay, so if you could just answer these 2 questions in the next 30 seconds, that would be great. We just want to know why you're here, and also how your club's doing right now. So we'll give you a couple of minutes. If you'd like some Jeopardy music, I'm happy to help with that.
And
You
have to tap your answer.
This one?
I'm seeing the poll, but I don't see how to answer it.
Yeah, I can't.
Nothing
I can't
happens.
answer that.
It says
Yeah.
you're viewing the poll
Really?
results.
Oops.
Can you answer it now?
The poll went away.
At the bottom, it says relaunch poll. Can we try to do that?
Yeah, try that, Gilda.
All right.
There we go.
Got it.
There you go. Now we're in business. We're cooking with Crisco.
How do you want to do it?
Do it again.
So if there's 2 of us in 2 different clubs, can we bring it up again?
Oh, I think there's one for each computer.
Yeah,
But-
I think you're right.
Okay.
Peter doesn't need to fill it out. He's in my club, so I know what his is.
You know my answers.
You know all his answers, don't you?
I know his answers.
All right, the poll disappeared on our screen. All we see is the screen that says why.
Well, I think you must have finished it then.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll show up when he shares the results. And I think
Okay.
we're about ready. Do you want to go ahead and share the results there, Tom? Go ahead and end the poll and share the results. Okay, so there we go. We got about 24% of people are doing really well with many new members. 18% maybe shrinking not so well, and about 19%. So when you take that together, you're talking about 76% of you are not growing, and that's a good reason to be here. And for those who are growing, we can't wait for the breakout session so you can talk about that. And it looks like most people are just here to find out ways to grow their club and some other information. So you're going to hear all about that today for sure. I'm going to give you 3 ways today to grow your club. All right, we're going to stop sharing. Sorry, we're going to already share the results. You all saw the share the results, correct?
We
Yes.
did.
Great. All right, we're going to move on then. All right. I thought I would start by sharing the simplest and easiest ways to attract new members. So this is one of 3 new things I want to talk to you about today, and it's a big one, especially for traditional clubs. I would love it to be that by the time that I'm done with this position as membership chair in 3 years, that every club in the district was doing a membership day. As I mentioned earlier, implementing this at my old club in Fullerton resulted in 7 new members joining each year on average. So what is a membership day? The concept is simple. If you created one meeting of a year where you curated an experience just for new members, what would it look like? First, you pick a date on the calendar for a membership day. The speaker that day should be a really great speaker in the club or an outside speaker who talks about Rotary in basic, simple terms. For example, I give a speech at other clubs. I've done it at 66 clubs now on this history of Rotary. I'll be doing it next week, actually, at this South Pasadena club. But it can be any great speaker from your club talking about the things your club does for the community. That should be the speaker that day. Next, you tell the members to invite potential members that day, and they will not be charged for their guest lunch. The club will pick that up. If you can really get the word out among your membership and have at least 2/3 of your membership inviting a new member, that's the best case scenario. Make sure it's well promoted in the club and that each member is expected to bring a potential member as a guest. On the day of the event, be sure the food served is the best food that you have. Make sure there are greeters at the door who connect with the guests with the president, the membership chair, and others in the club who they may have an affinity for. Help them develop their bonds and network. Make sure you are getting their contact information as they register. Have them sit with the Rotarian who invited them and encourage that Rotarian to introduce them around the table and make them feel welcome. After the meeting, each prospective member will be contacted by 3 people, and this is key: the membership chair, the club president, and the Rotarian who invited them. And each will follow up and ask them to join or at least to return. All this attention can be very persuasive. Make sure the subsequent few meetings also have great speakers, great food, and great greeters. Many will return. We do this each year routinely and get 7 new members from it. It has improved our other meetings. Once we started curating the meetings for Membership Day, we saw the value of always having greeters and importance of improving our speakers and creating an atmosphere like Membership Day every day. But just start with 1. If done right, I guarantee you success. But it all begins with an invitation. And here to say more about that is our district governor-elect, Dennis Franklin. Dennis, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, I have something in my hand here, if you can probably see it. and it'll change the direction of your club if you were to put it to use. It's an invitation. And this morning, what I want to do is share with you how Glendora's club membership went from 60 members down to about 27, 28. And we're now sitting at about 43 members and growing. And I want to begin talking about how we did that by asking you a question. And you don't need to answer this, and just think about it, is why do you think people join Rotary? You know, according to a comprehensive study that Rotary did a number of years ago, the most common answer was that people want to serve. You know, they want to make a difference in their life. They want to have purpose. They want to be relevant. That's the first and foremost thing that they say. The second reason that they give is they want to be more involved in the community. You know, what's going on in town. And then the third reason is they want to connect with other people. And they want to connect either on a personal or a professional basis. In other words, they want to make contacts and friends that'll enrich their lives, and they want to develop relationships that are meaningful, you know, that again are purposeful. And there's a lot of people out there that want those things, and Rotary does a fabulous job in delivering on them. We check all the boxes. So you got to wonder, why then do so many of our clubs struggle with attracting members? We saw that survey. It's hard. You know, it's not an easy thing, but it kind of is and it isn't. The survey that I referred to just now also answers that question on, you know, why do we struggle? And the number one reason that people tell us that they don't join Rotary is because nobody invited them. Nobody asked them to come. You know, and picture this just to illustrate the situation. Let's say I was having a party at my house, and I'm going to have a band. I'm going to have an open bar. I got the best restaurant in town catering the food. It's going to be a great party, man. It's going to be a bash. I want to show of hands here now. If I didn't invite you, how many of you would just show up? Once in a while, once in a while. But let's change that situation slightly. All right. If before that party I invited you and I said, "Hey, I would absolutely love you to come, Gilda. I'd appreciate you being there. It's going to be great." Show of hands, how many of you would consider coming? a big portion. See, and that is the power of an invitation. And my point is that we can change the trajectory of our membership growth if we do one simple thing, and that's invite people in. Invite them to all the cool things that we're already doing. The clubs, I go to these different clubs. They are absolutely killing it, you know. And if we want people to come to our party, if we want them to be part of our Rotary Club, we have to tell them what we're doing, and we have to invite them to be a part of it. So let me give you an example of something that my club is doing that I think, could be really impactful. It resulted in 4 new members the last time we did that. And it's an easy thing to do. And in fact, I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll get results. How many of you, show of hands, do socials in your clubs? Right? Probably just about everybody. So how about this? If the next social, you host a mixer at one of your members' house that's specifically designed to explain what Rotary is all about and what your club is about. I call it a What is Rotary event. Some people call it fireside chats. What Zoot just shared about as far as a membership day at the club meeting is along the same line. But, you can have a social that does the same type of thing. Ask a member to host an informal mixer at their home. Have your other members bring a dish, maybe some food, drink, a potluck type of a thing. then identify people that you think would be really a good Rotarian, that would be somebody that you'd be proud to have in your club. You can look at your phone, pull it out. How many people in your phone list that would be a great Rotarian, or friends or neighbors or people you do business with, and tell them that the Rotary Club is holding this mixer at John's house or whoever is having it. And we're going to be sharing about all the cool stuff that we do at Rotary. Hey, we recognize that you're a quality person that likes to be involved in things. I think it'd be a good fit. Would you like to come? Thought you'd want to check it out. And when people do respond and do come, let them hang out for an hour or so, socialize, talk with people, get to know each other, build some camaraderie, and then have everybody sit down, take 30 minutes or so, talk about what Rotary is about, what your club does, just like what Sue just laid out. Let them know that, hey, we understand that, it's maybe not the best fit for everybody. It's maybe not the best time in your life, that sometimes people have other priorities or commitments or interests. But for those people who want to serve, that want to have purpose, that want to be involved in what's happening in the community, that want to make connections, it's a tremendous opportunity to be part of the club. And we want to make sure that they know that we'd be honored that they'd be part of our family, And like Zoot said, let them know that you're going to follow up with them. And the next day you call them, thank them for coming, see if they have any questions, and shut up and listen to what they have to say. And they'll tell you all about their lives. And if they're a good fit, you'll know about it. If it's not a good season for them, they'll tell you about it, but they might be a future Rotarian. The last time we did this in our club, we had 10 prospective members show up, probably 15, 20 of our members. We had 4 people since then join Rotary from doing that event. And by the way, as Zoot mentioned, you can invite people to a meeting where you're doing specifically the same thing. You can invite them to a fundraiser. You can invite them to a service project. And I tell you, when you include people in and you think of them and say, hey, Luciano, I was thinking of you. I know you're a good guy, and that you we're doing this thing that you might enjoy. Luciano appreciates that I thought about him. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, because you're including them in your life. I mean, that's really is. So Zoot, thanks for having me on today, and thanks for inviting me to share about the power of the invitation.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate it. Well said. Some of you may want to take on a larger purpose of getting our younger community members involved in Rotary. And here to tell you more about youth clubs and Rotaract is Edward Abad, our executive assistant governor, a Rotaract expert, and our club builder. And he's going to tell you his story about Rotaract. Edward, take it away.
Thank you very much, sir. Here, and actually, I would like to share with you about the Rotary Club. And we did it a lot of times, and actually, it's successful in growing our membership. Let me share with you my Rotary story. It was in February 1982. I was a very active student leader at my university in Cebu, a very populous province in the Philippines. Some Rotarians came and talked to us about forming a Rotary Club in our school. There were many junior civic organizations in our campus at the time, but what captivated my interest was the polio eradication program of Rotary. Before committing or being a part of the Rotary family, they invited our group to a vaccination program where we witnessed and supported a medical team by guiding them to the remote areas of the community for vaccinations. Polio was rampant in the Philippines during those days. The Philippines were the first beneficiary of the Rotary polio vaccine. We know that we were part of the movement that made our country 100% polio-free now. I was in, and became the charter president of the Rotary Club of University of San Jose Recoletos in District 3860. Rotary is a service club for young people ages 18. Before it was 18 and 30, and now 18 and no limit, who are dedicated to finding innovative solutions to the world's most pressing challenges while developing leadership skills and making friends around the world. Soon, I decided to create more Rotary clubs in Cebu. It was just 1 year. We organized the Rotary Club of University of San Carlos, the Cebu College of Commerce, University of Cebu now, the community bases like Rotary clubs in Mambaling and Rotary Club of San Nicolas. I was honored that year to be elected as a charter Rotaract district representative of District 3860, the highest ranking person in a Rotaract, club, on a Rotaract in a district, with 18 clubs in attendance at the time. In 1987, after graduation, we wanted to remain as Rotaractors. So we organized the community-based Young Professionals Rotary Club of Cebu. And the training I received as a Rotaractor enabled me to advance in my careers in corporate positions in my country. In 2008, I migrated to the United States with my family. We established our own healthcare services company based in Lancaster. I'm also a licensed realtor and financial consultant here. I joined Rotary Lancaster Sunrise in 2013 and became their back-to-back president in 2018, 2019, 2019, and 2020. Since then, I have been involved starting other youth clubs. Presently, I'm serving as the executive area governor of Antelope Valley and High Desert in our District 3, 5300 USA. If we want to grow Rotary, we must start organizing Rotary clubs, and that is the G League of our Rotary, and training young people to become Rotarians in the future. Then we won't have problems with membership in the coming years because they will replenish the memberships of our clubs. Anyone with connections to the young people can start a club now. I'm here to help. Just contact me. My name is Edward Abad. Thank you, sir.
I like it, Lancaster.
Thank you so much, Edward. Membership days and invitations are valuable tools in our toolbox, and youth clubs are excellent ways to expand our community. But it must also be appealing to prospective members. With more on that, Membership Attraction Chair Betty Bowie. Betty, are you there?
I forgot to unmute. Hi,
Okay,
everybody.
go ahead.
Good morning. So I'm Betty Bui. I'm the president of the South Pasadena Rotary Club this year. And I have one of my members. She's my service projects chair, Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. So today I'm going to tell the story of when I first joined the South Pasadena Rotary Club. We were a small group of 18 to 20 members, and between tragic losses and a few new additions, we hovered generally around 19. There was even serious talk of folding and merging with a larger neighborhood club that was more active and honestly looked better from the outside. On paper, it might have made sense. And I was still new. I was trying to understand what Rotary actually was. I had been to the International Convention in Atlanta in 2017 with a friend who was a Rotarian. So I understood the big picture, the global reach and the impact. But somehow I could not find the same feeling in my local club. So there was, at the time, no real onboarding, no Rotary 101, just a handful of expectations and some goals that felt scattered to me. So I started making friendships, but one of the people I connected with the most left. She was frustrated because we had, according to her, disorganized meetings. We didn't have a place where we were meeting all the time. So we were going from one restaurant to another. And the leadership style also at the time. Then another member left for the same reason. One member moved away and 2 others passed away. And so that was really shocking for a club so small. I'll never forget also the day someone handed me a folder full of fundraising tickets and said, you need to sell these or pay $500. That was it. No real explanation, no real context. I had to figure it out, and it felt like, I guess I was on the way out. And then something shifted. There was the wife of a fellow Rotarian who quietly took me aside and felt like, she put her arms around me. She explained things, she encouraged me, and she made me feel seen. So for the first time, I felt like maybe I belong. And so that small kindness planted a seed. Later, a new club president invited me to serve as membership chair. In the first year, there was little guidance. The second year, I was membership chair. He handed me a box of brochures and folders labeled membership. And it was very well intentioned, but the brochures were really outdated, not reflective of the Rotary we needed to be in today's world. So I asked myself, what would attract someone like me, someone who didn't grow up with Rotary, who didn't understand the lingo, the rituals, but who wanted to serve, connect, and belong? In South Pasadena, we're mostly known for a Taste of South Pasadena fundraiser, but Rotary is so much more than one event. What about the fight to end polio, our work with the Ronald McDonald House, our grants program, our outreach to the homeless? Years ago, one of our members had been a district governor, and he made Rotary very well known in our community. Another past president's project was to help rebuild the youth house in Garfield Park and donate it to the city. The Scouts still use it today. We were even funding a water well in Tanzania. So we're doing meaningful service, but we were not really talking about it. There was no press. There was no buzz. We didn't really have a real Instagram presence. And we just had a quiet Facebook page with a few likes and no real traction. So if I had once felt invisible in Rotary, how many others had quietly walked away before they even ever saw the value of Rotary? So when I joined, the club structure felt a little bit outdated. We had weekly noon lunch meetings, and it didn't really work out for, some professionals who were not living in South Pasadena, commuters, or people with full-time jobs. So there were a lot of traditions that felt sacred, but when you first join a club, you don't really know what it means. So it felt a little bit alienating. And thankfully, one of the past presidents made a key change. She reduced the amount of weekly lunches to one monthly lunch meeting, and she added club socials. So now, which now has become a club social club meeting, because we address, Rotary affairs, since we only meet once a month. And I feel that decision changed everything, because we're able to attract members who, for example, can't necessarily make it for lunch meetings, but they come for the evening meetings. Now that I'm club president, I've built on that shift with small intentional actions to make Rotary irresistible, including bringing back ideas from leaders who came before me. So we revamped the onboarding with a very extremely welcoming Rotary 101 path. We reinstated the fireside chat at members' home. That was a tradition that was started years ago by our past district governor in his backyard. And that now helps new members to feel connected to our club. As Zid said, very yummy food. So, or at least we try. We also try as well as we can to have a good curated Instagram storytelling to make our impact visible. And, you know, like Instagram and Facebook is linked, so you can also do that on Facebook. We ordered new Rotary gear that you'll see, Elizabeth, so that we can help members represent with pride. So, you know, new polos, t-shirts, hats, everything that you can get. And our meetings are warm, not formal necessarily anymore. I mean, we still have the formal things that we're supposed to do, but, you know. And our induction ceremonies are very fun. And we make a big deal out of, you know, our new members. And we are also doing visual podcasts in the club starting this year so that we can spotlight our members and also other leaders in our community. Our last induction took place at a club social in our favorite Irish pub. We decorated, you know, with flowers, garlands, candles, framed Rotary isms. It was festive, heartfelt, full of laughter, everything Rotary can and should be. So our guests joined in, and we tied the celebration to service by asking people to bring hygiene kit essentials for our next service project. People today are craving purpose, connection, belonging, and mentorship. Rotary can give them all of that if we show it, live it, and celebrate it. I feel that we made our club more attractive by rebranding our identity, telling better stories, and we host engaging and fun events so that it offers flexibility to members without feeling guilty of missing a meeting, and honoring every member's journey. We say you belong here, not once, but over and over in everything that we do. And now, as president of the South Pasadena Rotary Club and as attraction chair for the district, I want to help other clubs do the same, because I know how it feels to stand on the outside wondering if Rotary is for you, and what it feels like when the answer becomes yes, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. So whether you are from the high desert, Nevada, or here east of Los Angeles, I want every person who walks into a Rotary room to feel like they've just found their people. This is how we grow, this is how we lead, and this is how we unite for good.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you so much for an inspirational speech. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Zoo. Thank you, guys.
How can we build more inclusive atmosphere for prospective members? That's a question we ask ourselves. Inclusive Leadership Chair, Gina Reyes, everyone. Gino, take it away.
Sorry, this is the first time I didn't unmute. Good morning, everyone. As I talk about this, and I want to peel back a couple layers, when we get into this invitation, when we get into the attraction, the engagement, and all these things, if we peel back the layers, one of the things that we have to do is look inside ourselves within the club. And one of those things is to understand whether or not we provide a safe place for people and how important that is and how much that could help people perform or not perform, keep people or make people leave. So I like to say I've been a Rotarian for 18 years. It's really only been 4, but for some of you, it probably does feel like I've been around for 18 years. So my Rotary journey belonged long ago before I ever really joined. In 2007, my best friend Howard Cohen, also my Rotary mentor, a past district governor, and charter member of my club, Vegas Verde, introduced me to the organization in Seattle. I showed up for projects here and there, admired the mission from afar, but I never joined. Why? Because I never felt like I could. I didn't see anyone who looked like me in the room. I didn't see anyone who moved like me or thought like me. So fast forward to December 2021. During COVID, I left California, moved to Vegas. Through a twist of fate, I didn't find Rotary. I kind of joined it. I chose it. I jumped in head first, no reservations. At that time, I was 42, finally feeling like I could sit up at the grown-ups table, probably still wearing something amazing, but I was ready. Ready to serve, ready to lead, and more importantly, ready to find my people. I came in through a golf tournament ad that I saw in a local rag. Before COVID, our Bladder Cancer Foundation held a golf tournament annually. As we all know, COVID kind of messed everything up, so it'd been a few years, but I was ready to bring it back. I met a Rotarian, got invited to a meeting, and suddenly I was being introduced as a sponsor and a potential member. I bought a table at that club's major fundraiser. I even hosted a fireside chat at my house. I was pretty much all in, but still something didn't click. I brought a mental health initiative to the club before RI was focusing on mental health, a project that I felt deeply passionate about. It wasn't supported. I started to feel like all I was doing was showing up to breakfast to hear speakers talk. But I knew there had to be more. Howard was a Rotarian to the core. If Rotary had a bobblehead, Howard would be the bobblehead. I couldn't figure out what he saw, so I started asking questions. That was kind of the turning point for me. The moment curiosity cracked the door open to the truth. One of the main things that I remembered is, there wasn't really an onboarding for me. There wasn't really any information. I didn't get a name badge. I watched the guy I joined with and every person after me for 6 months get name badges, but I never got a name badge. So in Gino fashion, I created my own. And guess what it said? Future president. Guess who's president? I started to dig into how the club operated, how the leadership worked, and how I could get involved. That's when I was told I wasn't leadership material. That was news to me. I've owned a business, I've run businesses, I've played sports my entire life. I've led in so many different ways. I was told I needed to learn how to lead the Rotary way. So they said I needed 2 to 3 years before being considered. When I questioned the bylaws, I was told they weren't open for change. So of course, my response was bylaws are made to be changed. And as we know, and hopefully as we do, we revisit them and update them as needed. I found myself at that point, I basically was told, who did I think I was coming in trying to change things? And if I kept up that behavior, I would find myself on the outside looking for another club. But I wasn't deterred. In July of 22, I brought my story to the club board. A new Rotary year, new club president, new opportunity to turn my nightmare into a solution. I was hoping for open minds and hearts. Instead, I was yelled at publicly, belligerently. The president even denied saying something he did say, and everyone just sat there. That was the moment I realized that it wasn't a safe space for me. So I stepped back and took a mental health year off. I needed it. I deserved it. I wasn't ready to throw in the towel. And trust me, everybody wanted me to throw in the towel. Nobody could believe that I stayed and stuck around. I started taking classes at Cornell to further educate myself on DEI, to really deep dive and understand how we could create a better membership experience. In the summer of 2023, my phone rang. It was Gilda, the district membership chair. She heard I was on the DEI committee and she asked if I wanted to join membership. I said, do I have a membership story for you? For the first time, someone really listened. Gilda heard me. She asked questions and gave me pretty much what I was looking for, a safe space. From that moment on, I was reignited. Gilda's belief in me led to new possibilities. That fall at Zone, I had a breakout session, and Gilda asked me to start a new club. It was really that moment that most people in my shoes never get to. Many would have quit long time ago, but I was still there, standing, still serving, and determined more than ever. Gilda gave me the place to lead, to be seen, to be me, and I've had her back ever since. Today, I lead in multiple roles across the district. Most importantly, pretty much anything and everything leadership in Southern Nevada, as well as trying to create a more inclusive environment for our leaders in the next generation. If I hadn't found a safe space, I probably would have left. Now I make it my mission to create more safe spaces, not just for me, but for generations of Rotarians still to come, because I know what it feels like to be left out, overlooked, and dismissed. I know the power of being embraced, empowered, and believed. From nightmare to purpose, from silence to voice, I didn't just find my place in Rotary, I built it. And every day I ask the question, is it safe? And if it's not, I'm going to help make it so. Because Rotary deserves all of us, and we all deserve Rotary.
Thank you so much, Gino. That was very powerful. I really appreciate it. Well, I promised you that I would tell you about 3 new ideas for membership. Somebody's got to mute. You're having a little feedback there. The first was Membership Day, and here is number 2, and it's with our district governor, Gilda Moshier, with the very new concept of companion clubs, which solves many old programs of starting clubs. Gilda, would you tell them some more, please?
Absolutely. Okay. All right. I will just say, I'll just begin by saying the stories that you are hearing here today, some will resonate with you. I saw a lot of nodding heads and smiles and, oh yeah, that happened to me. And each of you will take something different away from this call. But I just want to thank the membership team for putting on this event today. And thank you for being on this call. We had 46 people on. Well done. Well done. So and forgive my raspy voice, I'm not sick. My voice takes a while to wake up in the mornings. If I have visited your club, you have heard me talk about giving birth to new clubs. So these can be extensions of your existing club. So let me share with you how. Imagine this. Imagine a passionate group of young professionals who want to serve the community, but they can't always make that weekly Rotary lunch. Maybe they're juggling young kids, demanding work schedules, or they simply prefer a more flexible way to engage. Meanwhile, your club is looking to grow, bring in new energy, and stay relevant. What if you didn't have to choose between tradition and growth? What if you could have both? That's where companion clubs come in. A companion club is a Rotary club that is formed alongside your existing club. It shares the Rotary name, values, and service mission, but it functions with a different format. Maybe they meet in the evenings instead of lunch. Maybe they meet twice a month instead of weekly. Maybe they're virtual. Maybe they're hybrid, or even they meet for service projects. The structure is more flexible, but the impact is the same. It's Rotary, just in a way that works for a different audience that has shown interest in your club but hasn't committed. This model is perfect for those who've always wanted to join but just didn't fit the traditional mold. Think of young professionals, parents, remote workers, Rotaract alumni, or even retirees who prefer a casual setting. Companion clubs give these people a way to say yes to Rotary without asking them to squeeze into a format that doesn't fit their life. And the best part, they don't compete with the parent club. They complement it. Companion clubs often share service projects, fundraising efforts, social events, leadership, and mentorship opportunities. They're not less than or junior. They're equal partners in Rotary service, just with a different rhythm. Why does this matter? Because the Rotary world is changing. People still crave community, impact, and purpose, but they also crave flexibility, relevance, and choice. Companion clubs give us a chance to offer both. In districts that have embraced this model, the results speak for themselves. Membership goes up, not just in numbers, but in energy. Retention improves. Alumni come back. New leaders emerge. The organization becomes more diverse, not just in age or background, but in ideas and approaches. Let me give you a quick example. One traditional club launched a companion club called After Hours. I know there's a few after hours amongst us. It met in the evenings, attracted younger members, and focused heavily on hands-on service and casual networking. Within 2 years, the total Rotary membership in their town had grown by 45%. Not only did the original club thrive, they gained new project partners, mentors, and even future presidents from the companion club. It was a win-win. Another club formed a virtual companion club, allowing people to participate from multiple cities. Busy professionals, frequent travelers, parents with packed schedules found a Rotary home they never thought would be possible. Their projects, meetings, and mentorships happen online. Their impact is real. So how do you start one? It begins first with curiosity. Ask, who is not joining our club and why? Then talk with your district leadership, your membership chair, Zut Velasco, me, your district governor, your executive area governors. Many of them are on this call, and their name says Executive AG. Rotary has resources and pathways to make this process smooth and supported. We have 7 executive AGs. In Nevada, Rebecca Fritz, Eric Threaton, and Deb Parsley. In California, Lydia Carswell, Manny Franco, Edward Abad, Ray Kearney. Next, build with intention. Don't just copy and paste your current format. Ask the people you're trying to reach what they need. Shape the companion club around their lives. Empower new leadership. Stay connected with that group. Find ways to share projects, host joint events, and celebrate milestones together. Forming a companion club is about widening the circle of membership. It's about honoring who we've always been, people of action, while opening the door wider for more people to join us in service. The best part, this can be done with a simple app. Zut, I don't know if you have that picture to show on the screen. It is an app you can download on your phone. Rotary leader Patrick Longano has simplified the club formation from 9 steps to 4. So we can create a simple to use format. The app is called the North American Club Creator app. If you contact us, we can provide you with the link. I believe it's also in the packet.
There's a description in the packet, correct?
Beautiful. If we want Rotary to grow, we must meet people where they're at. Companion clubs are one of the ways we can do that. They help us multiply. Let's build the future of Rotary together, one companion club at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilda. Very powerful. And I was in Calgary for that app creator, and having created a satellite club, it's amazing how easy and simplified they've made it and gotten rid of a lot of the problems that I had with satellite clubs. So it's very well done. Well, you may think starting a club is not that easy, but most of our team has done this. And one of our team did it just in the past few years. Edward Abad is going to tell you now about how he created a new club around bicycles. Edward? Edward, you there? Are you muted?
I'm sorry. I'm good now.
Go for it.
I would like to share with you. So, I mean, one of these method, one of these tools that has not been used in the United States most of the time, but this is a very powerful tool, and I did it with, organizing a new club, which is actually a not just an ordinary club right now. It's a multi-awarded club. Okay, I would like to share a story. In July 2018, when I assumed the presidency of the Rotary Club of Lancaster Sunrise, a small but a very active club of 18 members, we had a signature project that began in 2003, the Bike Clinic. This community project focused on repairing bicycles for school children who relied on them as their primary means of transportation to and from school. The club provided the parts, tools, and manpower, with Rotarians rolling up their sleeves to fix the bikes themselves. However, I was already concerned about the continuity of the project because the membership had aged compared to a decade earlier. While the club had sufficient funds to sustain the project, we lacked manpower to keep it going. At that point, we turned to a tool that long been there, available but underutilized, the concept of the Rotary Community Corps, the RCC. RCC is a group of non-Rotarians who partner with Rotary clubs to implement community projects. Around that time, I came across a group of professionals who gathered on weekends for bike tours as their hobby. They called themselves Lakay Cycling. I approached them with the idea of partnering with us, asking them to dedicate one weekend to fix bikes for school children as a form of community service. They were immediately excited by the concept. We agreed the Rotary Club would provide the parts and the Lakay Cycling would supply the manpower. From that point forward, we repaired 50 to 100 bikes per each clinic. The partnership was continued to this day. While working together on these projects, we gradually gave them through orientation and deeper understanding of Rotary. In Rotary year 2023-2024, when Governor Mike Soden raised the alarm that our district membership was rapidly declining and needed urgent attention, I approached members of the RCC Lakay Cycling led by President Benji Fonbuena of Rotary Aerospace Valley, now with a proposal to transition the RCC into a fully chartered Rotary Club. Without hesitations, they agreed, as they already had a solid grasp of Rotary's mission and values. On March 21, 2024, they officially became the Rotary Club of Aerospace Valley, proudly chartered with 20 strong founding members. They wrap up with the first year with 24 members strong, and they are very, very proud of their achievements. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. I hope you have been inspired today to explore membership in one of these paths further. Now, I did promise you that there would be three new concepts in membership that we would do, and there we've only covered two. So the third is a new idea that we are pioneering right here. And it came out of a conversation that I had with Gilda. She sought to attract prospective members from a specific region to a gathering featuring exciting and inspiring speakers, encouraging them to join Rotary. And it's a bit like taking Membership Day and making it regional. I told her that I had produced a TEDx conference before, and perhaps we could adapt the TED model to a type of regional event she had in mind. And we had developed that idea into SAS. SAS stands for Service Above Self Sessions. The idea is to produce a regional event with great speakers like a TED conference, but all the speakers are Rotarians who have had great stories of service. Where would we get these speakers? You know, we do this already every single year at RILA. Invite great speakers to inspire by their service and their stories. The region's Rotarians would be invited, and ask to bring a prospective member or friend. The event would be short, exciting talks in the TED format. It would last no longer than 90 minutes plus a Q&A afterwards. And there would be a Rotary booth in the lobby. We would encourage prospects to check out the club near them, and we would have a listing of clubs and when they meet. We would hope to do a pilot of this program in the spring of this year, this coming year, in the San Gabriel Valley. And if it goes well, we will also repeat that in the Antelope Valley and the Vegas area. That is what SAS is in a nutshell. Now, I would like you to think about what is challenging your clubs. Is your club welcoming, exciting, motivating, affordable, and diverse? Is it resistant to change, new technologies, and younger leadership with new ideas? Are you leveraging your community networks and strategic partnerships in schools, government, businesses, and nonprofits? Does your community know you exist and come to your service projects? Can they find you online and in person? And when I say find you, I don't mean that they go to your website and see information that's been outdated for 4 or 5 years since before COVID, which has happened to me twice. When people do join, are they onboarding and engaging them in a way that makes them want to stay? So I would like you to spend, let's see, what time is it? I would like you to spend the next 10 minutes in a breakout room. And if you are a strong, growing club, share what's working in your view. And if you are a shrinking or stagnant club, what is your membership challenges? We will meet back in 10 minutes. Pick a spokesperson for your group to give us a few of the highlights of your discussion. And remember, your group number, please. Because when we call and ask for group 5 spokesperson, we want to make sure you speak up. Tom, can you assist us now with creating the breakout rooms?
Dude, are they in their meeting rooms?
Tom, you can kick everyone out and close the breakout rooms.
All right. It's not letting me.
Oh, it's going to close itself in 20 seconds.
For some reason, it's not letting me. So
Yeah, it's fine. It'll close itself in 20 seconds. It's funny because it gave us a counter saying time was up, but
yeah,
we left right then, so we didn't wait to see.
there I can close it.
Here they come. And how many breakout rooms do we have, Tom? 8?
We're at 8.
Okay. Let's see if everybody's back. Is everybody back on?
One thing was to pick a spokesperson, which we did not do. So whoever was in my room and wants to jump in, our last speaker was talking about the bigger initiative that polio, eradicating polio, the framework that's there in how we can move forward with that. I would love that newer member to jump in and be our spokesperson.
Okay, so I believe everybody's back now, right?
Yeah.
So breakout room 1, who's your spokesperson?
That would be Lou De Silva.
Lou, would you like to tell us a little bit about your discussion? Lou, are you there? Well, while we're waiting for
Okay,
Lou.
I got it.
Okay,
I
good.
hadn't been planning on being the spokesperson, but I'll try to recall, basically.
Just any highlights. You don't have to spend a lot of time because we're short on
Okay,
time.
highlights. One thing is that if you have a small club and you're growing, you need to look at the small things having to do with club organization so that you don't grow too fast without assigning people and following up and doing all the things that we need to do to keep them there. So, that's a highlight. The other highlight is if you have a fundraiser or a major activity, invite people to those and get them involved in Rotary. If it's through Rotary Community Corps or just Rotary in general, take advantage of those situations where you bring in a lot of people in support of Rotary and your community. Anybody else want to chime in from group 1?
Well, we're short on time. We'll just go to group 2.
That's fine.
And if anybody wants to raise their hand during questions, we can add more. Group 2, you have a spokesperson for us? Is there a group out there that's ready to go?
I'll go group 3.
Group 3. Okay, group 3.
Okay, I think that was our group. So things we were talking about, really all of this boils down to kind of a balance. If you want to keep things updated, but sometimes you have to look at your past successes, bring things back to basics, because what works. Some clubs are meeting less. Maybe if they're, instead of meeting 4 times a month, they're meeting only 2 times a month and having a more meaningful meeting in that time frame. Even searching for maybe alternate meeting spaces to change it up, different environment, different time, things like that. Maybe how you're engaging with your members is going to attract people. Are you having a large service project once a year that's all your focus on? Maybe people want to get out there. So having more small, meaningful projects might attract members more. And lastly, we're just, sometimes the whole purpose is just to do more. And if your Rotarians are, living like that and doing that, then that's going to attract them because they're wanting to do more. So those highlights.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for summing it up so succinctly too. I appreciate that, Eric. Is there anybody else that would like to go next?
Room
Yes.
2.
Okay, great.
There were 3 clubs represented.
Wait, which breakout are you?
I'm in breakout in 2, number 2.
Great. Okay, go ahead, Hank.
So Altadena has 40 plus members, we think, according to Peter. Sierra Madre has 22 and Antelope Valley has 7. And one of the things we discussed was that when you're down to 7 members and your members are aging out, one of the good things that you might be able to do is merge with another club so that you can increase your demographic, increase your possibilities of doing things differently or doing new things. And most clubs would be very welcoming to have a club. The important thing you have to do is communicate with your new club to make sure that your shared resources can go to the right places and it's amenable to both groups.
And you also have to look at it as not a defeat for the club that is that has shrunk in size, but a victory for both clubs because you get new ideas from the club that's gone small, and the club that accepts them in is getting those ideas too, and then getting the new members engaged. So it's a win. It's not, oh, our club faded away. So mergers are a good thing.
And the reason I bring this up is that happened to me in Arizona. So it was a win-win for everybody, and everybody was happy, and they still got to be Rotarians.
And Peter, I think when you joined, we were just over 40, but I think we're over 50 now.
Yeah, we
because
are.
of all the new members.
We also discussed the success of the Altadena Club, but you've already hit that up front, so I didn't want to suck the air out of the room.
No worries. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Hank. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Any other groups want to chime in? I was group 6. I can do that, but is anybody else group 4?
Is ready to
5?
go.
Go for it.
Okay, so we talked about, especially with the size of larger clubs, the importance of greeters to be able to welcome everyone, whether it's a speaker, a visitor, and member. We also talked about making sure to ask people to attend a meeting and then tending to them when they actually come. And then the third thing we talked about was you can also utilize club service projects and participating in your community events. That can be a channel for new members.
Yeah, and I would, it's Gilda's doing a great job of putting these things in the chat as we're talking. And it says larger clubs would have greeters. I think all clubs should have greeters, honestly. And that was my role when I was new to Rotary, and I loved it because I got to know everyone. And I still do that role kind of unofficially, but it's great for every club to have some people who just welcome people, connect them up to the president and the program chair, whoever they need to know when they walk in, and get them acclimated. Very good. Good stuff. And you're group 5, correct?
Group 4, Nick wants to talk.
Okay, go for it.
So I was not prepared to be the spokesperson, but we had discussed a little bit more
You
about.
were voluntold.
I was voluntold. So we discussed the bigger picture, the impact of the community events and potentially talking about doing more community events, things that can be recognized by the masses. I had also mentioned, introducing new initiatives, the polio foundation, something that's been going on for decades. And as of this point, it's something that's been almost completely eradicated due to the incredible efforts of the Rotary. What if we introduced new initiatives now that are actually affecting a lot more people, since almost no one is affected by polio anymore, such as dementia, for example. So that's where we were before we got cut off.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I am 6, and we had a member of the Glendora Club in our group in 6 talking about all the things that Dennis was talking about, because that's Dennis's club, about inviting people, the socials, all the things you're doing to make it welcoming. And this person's a new member, and she was ecstatic about Rotary, and she could not wait to do more because of the attitude of the club. So that was proof of concept for what Dennis said. And we had a couple people in our clubs who were stagnant or losing members, and from both Nevada and California, and they were talking about the same old things, and we're looking into companion clubs and some form of a membership day. So that was good to hear too. Do we have anyone from 7 or 8 that wants to chime in?
Yeah, group 8.
Great, go for it, David.
Okay, we had a few items that we talked about. One of the items in which was shared was working with other clubs on certain projects. I am in Arcadia, and I've been talking with Duarte, Monrovia, and Sierra Madre about forming a membership drive, one membership drive where we all work together and make it more inviting to, other clubs and other members. The other thing that we talked about was the usage of AI in putting together or gathering information as far as how to, build up your team. And one topic that was shared was reinvigorating the concept of the vocational to the club members, sharing that information to get in contact with businesses and young business owners to, become members. So I think one of the biggest things that, we taken away from this is the fact that we need to be looking not just for this year, but for, as someone indicated, the big picture, the long term. And this is where the action plan comes into play, where, I have my president-elect on, and I'm good with my vice president, and I'm trying to prepare for their year, not just this year, but I'm preparing for their year so that the transition is a smooth transition. They won't be starting from square one when they come on board.
Nice. Great feedback. I think we have one other group that hasn't spoke. Are you there?
Hi.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. Rudy and Susan, do you mind talking for our group, please?
No problem. Sure.
Thank
Yeah, go ahead, you can start.
So I'll start. What I was asked to talk about to you is the comment that I made in the group breakout that I'm the newsletter editor for my club, and I wanted to write an article about diversity in Rotary as a sort of starting point for not only membership building, but also service projects. And what I did was go on the City of Glendora's website and look at their statistics for our makeup in Glendora. And I found out that we're about almost half Hispanic. And I also looked at age statistics because it impacts on the school system, et cetera. And I feel like understanding the diversity of where you serve is really important for reaching out to people for membership as well as for service projects. Because if you have a large senior population, that's a clue as to what kind of service projects you should be doing. And as far as the Hispanic population, we want to reach out to those potential members. We have a movie in the park every Friday night. So we have a Rotary promo video that we made ourselves. So I added a small thing, a thank you at the end in both English and Spanish. So it's just a one little step in our ongoing attempts and bids and invitation to half of the Glendora demographic.
Great. Well, I really appreciate that feedback. We're at our time.
Can I need to add one quick thing, because I put something in the chat that relates to what Suzanne was talking about, to let you know that the Harvard Business Review publishes a thing called the Management Tip of the Day that actually reinforces what Suzanne's talking about in terms of a workplace. And if we look at our Rotary clubs as kind of a workplace, there are certain things that are done that relate to what Suzanne's talking. Yes, to be inclusive. Whether we want to call it DEI or other things, the inclusivity piece, to Gino's points, is very essential. So it's in the chat. You can read through it. It's only like 4 main points, and I think all clubs can really benefit from, stepping out of Rotary and looking at the business world and how this applies to what things that work out in companies, small companies, large companies. So it's in the chat if
Great.
you would like to look at it.
Would you share
Thank
it
you,
again,
Rudy.
Rudy? Please share it again. I think it was there when we were in breakouts.
Let's see.
While Rudy's
Yeah, it's
doing
in
that,
there.
I want to thank everybody for coming. We started at 9:03, is now 10:32, so we're at time now. And I appreciate everyone coming. If anyone needs to go, feel free. I hope you've enjoyed the seminar. I hope you've enjoyed our speakers. And we will stay on for a little bit for questions if people have questions. I just want to say, in relationship to what was just said about diversity from Glendora, is that everybody in our club, every one of our clubs have nonprofit members and faith-based members that know what projects are going on in the community that need help. If we want to do more service in our community, we should be asking people from the faith-based and the nonprofit world what great projects are going on that we could be part of. Any questions, anyone? Feel free to just raise your hand or put it in the chat. And Glenn, Gilda, could you please look and see if there's any hands up for me?
Yes, I have a comment that I put in chat. I just wanted to respond to what Nick and his group talked about the end polio. Rotary International adopted this project in 1987, and they're not going to let it go until it's done. So it is not done. I get a report every week on how many cases are still alive. A couple of years ago, there were incidences in New York. Yes, in the US, not just in Syria or Afghanistan. Rotary is probably not going to adopt another 30+ year project. They shared that with us a few weeks ago at a training at Zone. And but all of your clubs, you are autonomous. You can adopt the projects, the services, the communities you want to serve. You're going to hear about what the district is doing under my leadership, and we're going to continue many of those projects in the years to come. But please find out what your community needs and promote those programs.
Gino's got his hand up.
Gino's hand up. Gino, if you want to, we'll give it back to Zoot. You're the coordinator, but Gino's hand is up.
Go ahead,
Just real quick, and I would love to challenge everybody who does any type of articles or any type of social media. It is the easiest thing to do to copy and paste, but mostly copy your text and just hit translate and turn it into Spanish. I have done this on my Instagram, and we can't not see the people who we see every day when we walk outside. We know who's outside, we know who's there. And as Gilda said, it's time for us to start meeting people where they are. And it would just be amazing to see more of us in California, in Nevada, to have enough respect to do that, to make them feel more included or welcome.
Thank you, Gina. That's a great point. Any other questions?
Don't see any other hand. Oh, I see Barbara Sullen raised her hand.
Barbara?
Yeah, I have a question. Because when we were talking in our group, I was talking about possibly like a companion club of educators, but specifically my question relates to the mental health area. We had an educator that we worked with at a local school, and during COVID and following, they had we had helped them get a book about mental health for students and parents to read, you know, watching for signs of possibly someone thinking about taking their life or whatever. She had come back and asked us for some brochures to put in that counseling classroom, but there was some concern with our vocational chair that anything we did like that had to be approved by Rotary. So that was my question, because I wouldn't want to alienate a potential person coming into our club if we give them incorrect information saying, oh, you know, Rotary won't allow us to distribute this widely published item.
I'm going to let Rudy answer that as he is the co-chair of the Mental Health and Wellbeing Committee. Rudy?
So can you just ask the question one more time? There's a lot of background to it, and I would love to just, what is the question?
Okay, so the teacher we were working with works in the counseling office as well in classrooms, helping children like in crisis. or
Right.
their parents. And she had asked us for a series of pamphlets that were put out by a publishing company, I guess, that the teachers go to. And the concern with our vocational chair was that we would have to run that by Rotary before we could agree to provide that, due to potential litigation issues if something adverse happened.
Right. Yeah, my understanding is that Rotary is encouraging all kinds of diverse ways to provide mental health resources, referrals. They don't have to only come from professional degreed psychotherapists or psychologists, but because there are a lot of very, very important services that are being rendered and provided by people who are just experts in their field. So I would vet the person just more specifically, find out about, other presentations that they've done, the work that they've done, just a little bit more background information about them. What did you say about the pamphlet?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a pamphlet.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
And if I
Right.
can,
The source of it, yeah.
if I can push in here for a second, we want to partner with other organizations, but you always have to be careful about vetting whatever it is. But by all means, what I would be looking at in that situation is if they had a great pamphlet and they're a great organization that you want to partner with, which it sounds like they are, you can publish those pamphlets and you can even put a little thing that says brought to you by, or, provided by the Rotary Club of Antelope Valley. And that's perfectly okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, would you be amenable, someone within this group, Gilda, Dennis, Rudy, if I got this information and just had you take a look at it?
Yes,
I'll see you next Thursday and we'll look at it, and if you can email it to Rudy, that would be great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you all. Chelsea, you have your hand up.
No, we're out of time. Gino's conversation around our youth feeling comfortable, or their parents feeling comfortable about going to camp. And I'm super excited. I was talking to another member of our club yesterday after the meeting, and we were brainstorming around a mini camp or a day experience with Rotary. So we can be inviting the youth, we can be inviting their parents who are potential members, and introducing people and having some of those experiences that we have at camp in a smaller way, so that people can start to understand who we are and feel comfortable to have their youth involved in those programs. So thank you, Gino, for your passion. I'd love to connect with you more on that, to work in the Southern Nevada area and implement some things that we can see how we can duplicate it.
Awesome. Gino is the connector. He's the super connector. All right. Anybody else?
I would like to provide the document that I was talking about. As soon as it's converted to PDF, I would like to send it to this group. So I'm not sure who to send it to for that to be distributed.
Gilda, wouldn't it go to Tom and Tom could disperse it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Very good.
Great. Any other questions? Seeing none, then I want to thank you all for coming and for staying, and hope it's been valuable for you. And really, my only goal with this as the new chair of membership is that you just get to know us and include us whenever you have a membership challenge you need help with. Because really, we can give you 5 seminars on how to do this, that, and the other thing. But we're all volunteers here. And if you have somebody walking you through the process, that makes things so much easier. So that's our approach. And I hope it'll be great for you. But if you have any questions, contact any one of our team members that you met today. Okay? Whoever speaks to you, or maybe if you're in Nevada, you would contact Gino first. Or if you have a specific membership day question, you'd contact me, or companion clubs, maybe Gilda or Edward. Or Gino for that matter, and attraction questions, Betty, but feel free to contact any of us for anything at any time. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, good job.
Great workshop,
Great job,
Zoot.
Zoot.
Well done.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.